Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 54 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Not Too Complicated. Where between episodes I've been crafting all the yellow matter and getting ready to turn it into orange and probably white matter? Is that what comes next? Yeah, white matter. And then white matter needs white fuel to get to fading matter, and then that's the top tier. That's it. That's endgamey. Awesome times. So here's what I did. I was crafting it, with this approach, but it was just taking way too long. So I decided, and I let this sit for like hours. Basically, I set this up. So real quick, right? Magenta made internal, pink made internal, purple made internal, violet made internal, blue made internal, cyan, green, and lime goes to external. So once it gets all the way down the line here, and as you can see, I've got a interface keeping a stack of Eternalist fuel available and then piping it in. And it, runs pretty good. I can tick accelerate it a little bit and it'll just, and then it'll start getting low on energy. And then once the energy runs out, it'll start filling back up with Eternalist fuel, and then the tick accelerator runs off, and then it's, it is what it is. But basically, that's what happens, right? So it eventually makes that green fuel into lime fuel. The lime fuel lands in the exporter, and then it kicks over to here. And then over here, we've got the same thing. Lime turning into yellow, turning into orange, turning into white. And white is the one set to external. Yellow and orange, obviously, are internal. So I've not yet gotten a single white. It took hours to make, the 6 orange fuel that I need. And we now need, 6 times 4 is 24 orange fuel. So it's probably going to take a bit. So what I'm suspecting is we'll just kind of let that chill there. I'll work on some other stuff, and then basically right now I'm going to, though, upgrade my yellow matter to orange matter. Huzzah! Oh, look at you just chilling in there, yellow matter. Boom! Learned orange matter. And then we're going to upgrade this to white matter. Huzzah! Boom, learned white matter. Cool. Now what I can do is change this guy into a white matter producer, which is good times. Wow, we have a lot of stacks of yellow matter, don't we? I wonder if now's a good time to maybe check out the EMC links. Because these things look cool, and I was kind of curious about them. EMC limit 256 per second. Well, these yellow matters are pricey, so we're going to want, something quite powerful. Now, how do you work? Lime compressed energy collectors? I'm not making all that. Forget about it. That's too expensive. Only because the energy collectors are, it's going to be 9 Mark III energy collectors, which is not a good time for me to make because that's the complex recipe with a lot of things. So forget EMC links. That's not how we're going to do it. What I'm going to do is break this dude. He's got white accumulating. I'm going to do that. He's going to land in there with the white. We're going to give him a bunch of upgrades, which is cool. So he's going to start getting his white matter accumulated. Now, in fairness, I could absolutely have this thing that we have. Hey, are we done with diamonds? We're finally done with diamonds. I mean, considering how long I was sitting there waiting for the other thing, I'm not surprised. But now we can do this and that should drain all your yellow matters nice and quickly. And that should all be going into here. Haha! How cool is that? All right. All the EMCs, all a good time. Nice. And as you can see, I'm crafting more circuits in anticipation for needing more circuits, right? So we'll get there in a sec. That is not at all what I meant to do, so now I have to break 2, and I'm just too lazy to grab an axe. What I meant to do was this, so I could get that, and then these will stack. So, kicking off the craft of some circuits, we made our Mark III antimatter relay, which is good times. What I thought would be cool to get to, so now that we have the yellow energy collector, I should be able to very easily upgrade him to an orange, which is 37.6 billion, and now a white, which is 523 billion, and now the last upgrade is going to be fading, which is 7 trillion per second, which will, get there. It's a lot of EMC. Yeah, buddy, look at this. Somebody's like, you're basically turning it into a cookie clicker kind of game. And I'm like, yep, you're not wrong. 100% correct. It really is. And it's funny. It's true. All right, so let's do this. Let's plan for today's episode. What am I going to do today? I have no idea, really. So we wanted to eventually get to the Colossal Star Omega. That's going to need some yellow matter singularities, which we will get to, absolutely. But that doesn't look too bad, really. And that'll get me the Matter Upgrader. Upgrades collectors, power flowers, and relays in place. You must have the next tier and have the difference in EMC. Okay, that's kind of neat. Like that. That's kind of cool. And then in addition, there's the final shard, and then we need the Colossal Star Omegas for the armor sets. Okay. And then what does the final shard do again? Final EMC link. Final EMC collector, 125 trillion EMC per second. That's just a ridiculous number. And a bonus relay of 20 trillion per second. That is hilariously shenaniganry. All right, let's do this. Let's make a couple Mark III. Can I make 3 more of you? It seems like I can. So I'm going to kick that off, and then we'll come back. What do you mean wireless out of range? Why? What's going on over here? What's this all about? Where's my energy relay? It might be that you're not able to... Let's put you on the reactor network. Are we cool now? Eh? What is going on here? Why are we suddenly being all kinds of not powerful enough-y? What in the what? Network out of range. Hilarious. Okay. Let me turn you off for a sec because... Alright, we need a calculation processor. What's going on here? Are you just... Like, energy acceptors... Is there a limit to how much they can accept? Maybe I need a battery of some kind? Battery might not be a bad idea. Those dense relay dudes. What I might do... If I cancel this, does that, like, calm everything down and all the shenaniganry? Everything's losing its mind right now, so... Can I make a couple of dense energy cells real quick? I'm assuming we've hit some point where we're, like, draining a lot of power in here and, like, we need some buffers. Okay, cool. Let's cancel you. Where's my dense energy cell? I ran into this with something else once, too. What you want to do is put it in there manually. Something, something, NBT. Will you work now? I mean, I could always craft it manually too, but yes. Now, these guys don't take up a channel, by the way, so keep that in mind as a good note. I could probably just stick them, like, here. All right, now, if I come in here, I want 3 Mark IIIs. Hopefully you won't lose your mind with, you know, power. That should solve my problem. And it does look like it is. Then I can turn this thing on to start crafting again. Oh, I see. You are going to make those. You're going to make what you need. That's fine. Yep, lots of crafting occurring. So we'll come back in a minute. That should solve my energy issues, because I think we just weren't able to keep enough energy in the network to keep the satisfaction, because it can only hold 8K in a controller by itself. And this thing, I think, was using more than 8K per second, so bad times, right? We're using right around 11 or 12K per second with all that crafting going on. So that's where the problem became in. And now having dense energy cells means they have a bigger buffer of energy, which means they can hold more, which means we're good. They can transfer more and receive more per tick. Works for me. Problem solved. All right, back in a sec to play with more EMC production. Wahahahaha. Also, we need some white fuel. All right, so how are we doing? A few minutes have gone by because I got distracted by things in real life, but we almost have our first white matter, which is actually extremely exciting because as soon as this hits green, which usually happens in about a minute or so, shouldn't be too long before that happens, you'll be able to see this whole process kick off. Hey, that's not what I wanted. So 3, and then this will go, and then the yellow should land in here in a split second. Boom! And now we've got our first white fuel. Hooray! 1 down, 3 to go. It'll be ready by next week sometime. No, probably tomorrow. So my Mark IIIs are done. Awesome. What I'm thinking I might do is maybe teach you all the different upgrades to the collectors that you can do. That might be cool, right? Let's do that. Well, not you. You broke the pattern. You should be down here. At some point, I will probably want to add those as well, but things are going to get a little bit dicey before we get there. We're going to really need to ramp up our circuit production, I think. And I might have ideas on how to do that even faster than I'm currently doing it. Just, you know, more tick accelerating. Well, probably not tick accelerating, but faster machines, let's put it that way. Probably with an RF Tools Crafter is where I'm leaning. Cool. And then orange, and then white. And then I'll throw the fading in there, even though we're not at that point yet. And I'll throw the final version in there, even though we're not at that point yet. Cool. And remember, now that we have the new version of the pack, we can always downgrade. And that will be nice. Excellent. So it should be exceedingly quick and easy to craft up to the top tier of these guys now. And I can even just straight up request one, and it'll craft all the prerequisite work, which is great. So if I want a white energy collector, which is Mark 14, he should be easy peasy, right? If I want 3 of them, because I already made 3, that should also be easy peasy. And if I want a 4th, then that is going to involve making a new Mark III collector and all the other stuff involved in that. So let's kick that off. It should quickly make the 3 that I need, right? And now it's got all this stuff to do. So you'll notice what's funny is we've gotten to the point now when making, you know, everything we need to make. Most things are very quick. It's the crafting of the storage components that is actually my bottleneck. What happens in here is my bottleneck. So, you know, we make lots of quartz glass very quickly. We burn through our charged Certus quartz very quickly. It's really not that bad overall, but it's the storage components that take a minute. Not too shabby. So now what we should be able to do... Now, do you tell me in any way, shape, or form how much you're getting? I don't think so. But I should be able to add to this, this, and this, and we should be getting a pretty stupid amount of white matter at this point. I would call that a pretty stupid amount of white matter. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. And then we could easily add another collector here, the 4th one that's being crafted now, and that's like your very smallest version of a power flower. There's the realistic way to do this would be to have like antimatter relays on the 5 sides of the condenser, I think is how it was done back in the day. I'd have to Google, to be honest with you, because it's been so long since I played with, you know, Equivalent Exchange or Project E. But I think you would put energy collectors on like the 5 sides and then build, or antimatter relays on the 5 sides, and then collectors all around. But effectively, you do that, or with project expansion, you can start making these guys. And what these guys do, we'll start with the white one, is you take 6 antimatter relays at Mark 14, white EMC link, which is Mark 14. Oh, that's going to be pricey. And then the compressed energy collectors, which is, so we need 18 energy collectors for these two. And then this guy is going to need, wow, this is actually stupidly expensive now that I realize it. Because look, in order to get this guy, we need 18 white energy collectors. And in order to get this guy, we need 18 orange energy collectors. And in order to get this guy, we need 18 yellow energy collectors. So like this rapidly scales to like a stupid level of crafting because these are so expensive. Yeah, I feel like that's more expensive than it should be. Am I crazy? And it's just the crafting because the Mark III is so expensive. That's the trick. Most other things are fine. It's just the making of the Mark III energy collector, this process, which is just so darn pricey. So I'm going to have to think that one through. Yeah, I'm questioning if that's worth it. Anyway, I just hit a cow. Cow, netherite DNA. Sweet. Because I need some steak and I don't have any. That goes over grass or hay. Grass being better than hay for some reason. But we'll put the hay bale in there because it doesn't super matter. Wow, we don't have any meat. Killing me, Smalls. Can we make grass easily enough? I can. That works. I don't really need you to extract here. I just want you to temporarily make me some beef, please. All right, folks, we're back. Once again, got distracted by some things and noticed, oh no, pollution. The chest that I had feeding our leaves ran out, so pollution built up. But now that we have literally unlimited leaves, thanks to our EMC system, I set up this quick little setup, and we now have solved that problem, and I can go vacuum up some pollution. Huzzah! Also, I want to try out, I'll vacuum up that pollution in a minute, this guy. Looks pretty cool. Infinity steak. So in theory, I should be able to eat this as much as I want, and it will use EMC to feed me. Follow-up question, if I put it in here, will that work? Allow infinity steak? I might need to be more hungry. Like, I need to get rid of the ham hocks thing. And then it'll feed me automatically. Almost there. Nice and hungry. It would be cool if this thing fed me. I'm starting to think it's not gonna. Alright, so how about I do this and we set it back to block mode. You would think you would recognize that as food, yeah? I was really hoping that would work in there. But I might need to go back to putting steak in there. Yeah, you ate my steaks, but you're not eating my infinity steak. Boo! Veto that, not working. Then one final thing that I also did, I wanted to speed up these guys. And the way it was working before is the crafting of the first 4 tiers of these. Like when you make 16 million dudes, right? It has to make a bunch of Mark 1s and a bunch of Mark 4s and a bunch of like the lower tiers. And then it has a handful of the higher tiers that it has to make. The bunch of Mark 4s and the Mark 1s were taking a lot longer than any of this crafting, thanks to this being tick accelerated. And we can't tick accelerated molecular assemblers. So what I did is I turned those things over to here. So I now have a tier 3 crafter with a Mark 1, 4, 16, and 64. And the patterns that I set up all make 64 at a time. So here's the cool thing. If I say, hey, I want a single 1K, it's going to go ahead and knock out all 64 of those. And look how fast it makes them. It may have already made them. Yeah, it's already done. Any questions? So yeah, check this out, right? When I do 16 million here and hit start. Wherever this is, it's here. Look how quickly it's making the 1K ME storage components. I don't know if you saw this before, but it was a lot slower at making the storage components than it was for any of the other stuff. But now it takes like somewhere around 10 to 20 seconds to make a 16 million, which is pretty stinking cool. So this is going to make it so we can get more Mark IIIs faster. Because remember, the main bottleneck on our Mark III collectors and antimatter relays is these things, the 16 million dudes, right? So by speeding this up, it will make making those a little bit easier. Cool beans? And it's done. So what'd that take? Like 10, 20 seconds-ish to make one of those? So now I turn this back on, and it should be, you know, auto-crafting them again. It probably landed in another crafter. Usually it's one of these last ones. Yeah, there it is, right? So now it's just going to sit there and make those even faster. And this whole line, look how quick it is. It's so good. So much faster than using molecular assemblers. So long story short, if you guys need to craft faster than the molecular assemblers can handle, probably this is your best bet for doing that. All right, let me sleep through this night, clean up this pollution, and then see what's next. Pollution cleaned, ha ha ha. So now it occurs to me, there's really no reason to store all this white matter, right? Am I wrong about that? I think I'm right about that. So what if, go with me here, we did something like this. And then we came over to this guy, and we did something like this. Now, if we look at our transmutation tablet, we should be getting more EMC, right? And it's coming in pretty rapid bursts. And if I throw one of these in here, then we should be getting tons of EMC. I love it. So we're literally draining all the white matter of this guy, because there's really no reason to store this in a drawer anymore, right? Like, we have to adjust our thinking from how we were doing things before to account for the fact that we now have a connection between applied energistics and our stuff, right? So if we look at 4.13, 413.6, and then a few seconds later 413.7. So basically we're just feeding all our EMC into the ender chest, which is feeding into the AE system ultimately. And then, like, how cool is that? I think that works. I think that's a good approach. Perfect, right? And pretty much every second we're getting a new white matter. That is cool. I haven't checked in on my white fuel in a while, but basically I borrowed the white fuel maker for this thing, but the main point being that we'll have a lot of lime fuel adding up, and then this stuff can just, you know, wind up going in here, and we can see how close we are to an... we'll probably want some orange fuel. Let's see, can I make one of you quickly? I can. I need 16 lime, right? And then that's a lot of crafting to have happen, but it's all right. It can happen in tandem with this one. So, all good. What should we work on? That's a really good question, because I'm really kind of waiting for enough white fuel to make stuff. We, I think, have one white fuel. Is that right? Yes. So we need, you know, 5 more. It's going to be a while. It's probably going to be a couple episodes worth of content before that is all complete. So what I'm going to say is, let's move away from this whole white fuel and upgrading the collectors and antimatter relays thing. Also, did I make more of these Mark III? I actually have a Mark... That's cool. Can I make one of these? Should be able to. Oh, we're missing more universal mass. Didn't I have that, like, running a lot? Or no? Oh, that's right. I was playing with you. Yeah, that's right. Sweet. I should probably at some point, like, throw this into a drawer and connect it or something. So let's look at our quests, right? Let's look at quests and see what we want to start working on. I would love to maybe play with bees at some point, even though it feels like at this point we've kind of done all the resource collecting and gathering that we would want. Playing with bees for fun might be something we get to, but I'd like to finish progressing, and then if we're done with progressing, and then we still have more time in the series, we'll circle back to bees. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I guess we'll find out. Equivalent exchange. I haven't really checked out any of the OP bonus armors yet. Maybe that's something we can take a look at. That would be cool. And then in addition to that, let's see. None of this stuff, particularly mob stuff, I'd be kind of curious. Like, I don't know what this is all about. That'll make some of the cool black hole band things. Okay. Oh, this stuff's going to be needed for some of the Uber chest plates. That will eventually lead towards making the ultimate stuff. So we'll have to do this chapter in order to get the Uber gear, which we want to eventually get for fun. What else do we have in here? A lot of this stuff is pretty much done for the most part, I would say. So let's go back to the endgame chapter. I'm mostly just looking to see if there's any new things. So remember, Endest Pearl was something on our to-do list, right? That's kind of our next goal towards making the Infinity Catalyst. So let's look at Endest Pearl. That needs a bunch of compressed blocks of endstone, the 5x endstone compression, which should still, in theory, be running down here. I stopped this guy from making seeds anymore because I think we have enough of that junk. But, you know, we can absolutely have this happening and continuing with the... So we have 5x compressed stone. We've got a decent amount. We got 166 of those. So that's cool. That is absolutely still working. And if we need to ramp this up, we could tick accelerate. Right? There's ways we could handle that. So that's good. Okay. What else we got going on here? So Endest Pearl, that might be the next progressional thing to do. So let's go get our crafters from this dude, the green guy. Right? I'm going to borrow you. Do you have something like in mid-craft right now? Doesn't that usually mean there's something that like it's trying to craft and it is like stuck? Is that happening anywhere? I honestly don't know. I thought that meant something was going on. All fixed, I guess. Yeah, I thought that meant like we're trying to insert things. Maybe something when the network went down earlier. Maybe that had something to do with that. So let's load up these guys. So load ultimate. This dude, we're going to want to add the Endest Pearl. Okay? And save that bad boy. Yes. Perfect. So ultimate crafting recipe, Endest Pearl. Let's figure out what we do and don't have to make an Endest Pearl happen. Okay, so we are missing pretty much just these Nether Star Opinium cores. Let's see what's involved in making those bad boys. So this is what's missing. Everything else we know how to make already, which is actually pretty surprisingly cool, right? So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This will kill you, blow up, and lose all your crafting materials to make this if you hold this too long. Thanks for the heads up, mini utilities. Could have used that notice a little bit earlier in the past, back when I blew up. That warning would have been useful at some point in the past. I'm just saying. But anyway, this recipe looks like the same as this recipe, so why would we ever do it this way, which is way harder to automate than this way? I think I agree. But let's get these whole things going, right? So you're going to be that. You're going to be that. I think we have a ton of experience pearls. You're going to be that. You're going to be that. You're going to be that. Did we know how to make diamond opinium cores? We do know how to make diamond opinium cores. Well, there you go. That's cool. Luckily, it showed me that I knew how to make them already. That was very convenient and friendly. Okay. So now if I want the Nether Star Opinium core, we're missing semi-stable ingots, but everything else we know how to make, including the chorus flowers. We have unlimited of those, so we're good. We're good on the flowers. Perfect. Perfect. So if I wanted to make like 100 of these, realistically what we're missing is enough Nether Stars and Netherite essence, but everything else is good. So the only thing we need to know is how to make semi-stable ingots. So how do we make semi-stable ingots? And the question is, can we auto-craft them? So you're going to need Mark 1 energy collectors. Look at you. Okay. So are you allowed to, like, be made here? We also need 3 crystal matrix. Did we? I thought we had crystal matrix. Is that one of the ones that got messed up? Stellar alloy blocks got messed up. I thought crystal matrix we had covered already. Crystal and pink slime block was another one that got messed up. So what's up with crystal matrix? You don't know how to make these? Oh, well, today I learned. Well, we're gonna learn it. So you are made like this, and then you are made like this, and it's literally that easy. I'll take it. So can you actually make this? Is that, like, allowed? I guess so. That's cool. That's cool. And now that means I should be able to make one of these, right? No crafting CPUs available. Probably because it's tied up making that other very expensive thing. You still have an hour left? I'm canceling you. No crafting CPUs available for the 200s. What I'm going to do then, because you're what, a 4 million crafter? Let me turn this off real quick. I'm going to add a few more of these. This looks like it's almost done. It says it only has a few seconds left, which is probably accurate. How many of these have we accumulated so far, by the way, since I turned that on? Not bad. 42 we're up to. I think that's like 20-ish, because weren't we around 23 at the time? That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. This is going so much faster now. It's great. Okay. Let me get... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Take 4 of these, and I'm going to make 16 million craftings. Because why not? Right? Realistically, why don't we just do all of these? Right? We could do, I think, 5 more. No, it was only 4 more. It's alright, we can decraft. The beauty. Alright, so now I can go turn you back on. You're going to be back to crafting, and now we have some very large crafting capabilities with the rest of our network. Cool. Now, I should be able to do my Nether Star duty? Yeah, that's what's up. How long do you take to craft? Is there something, like, super slow about you, or... You're not bad. You're not bad. I mean, you have a lot of these to make. It's another one of those, like, it's a, you know, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. So eventually it adds up to, like, many, many, many Opinium cores. Again, if it turns out we need a lot of these, how many do we need for the Endest Pearl? We need 4 of them. So that's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe not great. It's not terrible. But see how many we need of this? And it's going to take a little bit of a minute. How's my netherite seeds doing, by the way? If we need to throw them into a thing, we can. Is this netherite? No, it's hop graphite. Netherite seeds. Yeah, let's throw more drawer upgrades in you. Okay. So, we have, in a minute, our first Opinium core. Well, probably in 5 minutes, 6 minutes. That is a little bit slow. It's tricky. It's tricky. We might want to do the same thing with the RF Tools Crafter. It'll be way faster when you use RF Tools Crafters. I'm going to need to make more of those. Let's do this. Let's wrap up the episode here, because it's getting to be that point. We'll come back next time. We'll convert these recipes, the big ones that we need a lot of, probably just the iron, gold, and diamond tiers, into RF Tools Crafters. And then from there, we'll get into making our Endus Pearl. And what do we use this for again? That's going to be used for the Infinity Catalyst. So we need 4 of them. So yeah, we definitely are going to want a lot of these. So for now, Dollar20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's come back next time and improve the efficiency of making Opinium cores. For now, take it easy.